What's up, brother? Welcome back to the channel. Kylie Cox, aka The Sketch Reel, or just Sketch for short, is a Twitch streamer who's exploded in popularity over the last half year. He mostly streams Madden, and he's got a couple catchphrases you're probably familiar with by now. What's up, brother? Special teams, special plays, special players. And he's gotten so big that many NFL teams have even adopted these mantras, especially our hometown Houston Texans. He's so in with the Texans that he's met up with star quarterback CJ Stroud and wide receiver Tank Dell on multiple occasions.
Don't know how I got here.
And even got to announce their 4th round pick in this year's NFL draft.
What's up, brothers? How we doing? Make some noise! Come on! This is football!
Now, I've always been wary of internet personalities that end up on big stages like this, especially in sports, because I feel like it always comes to light that they're either hyper aggressive in their messaging or just generally over the top to try and cater to an audience of mostly younger boys. So I kept Sketch at arm's length, waiting for the controversy to come, and it has, but not in the way that I'd expected. See, I was prepared for a reckless fan meetup like Kai Cenat in New York, or violent outbursts like I Show Speed.
Is a bitch talking to me? Is a female talking to me?
But what we ended up getting just makes me sad for the guy. Just a few days ago, a video by the YouTuber Pocketbook was published that included a deep dive into Sketch's past internet career, where he happened to create adult videos with other men. Now, before we continue, I need to urge you not to seek out any of the adult content mentioned here or in Pocketbook's video, because it's obvious to me that Sketch does not want to be known for this type of content anymore. I myself want to move past it very quickly, because it's not what I want to focus on in this video. And I do want to say, the reporting in this Pocketbook video is something that I find really confusing, because this wasn't his to share and it wasn't necessary to share. The creator tries to justify it in the beginning of the video by citing some criteria for newsworthiness.
I sat on the story for a couple of weeks. I was unsure if I really needed to create it and share it with the world. However, I did go to school for journalism. In NJ school, they taught us if a story meets the standards of timeliness, proximity, interest, controversy, sensationalism, prominence, and novelty, according to Shoemaker et al. 1987, it is newsworthy and it needs to be shared with the public.
But man, this is some TMZ shit. Like, this isn't gonna win you a Pulitzer. Relax. Congrats to you for finding this story, but don't act like you had some duty to report it. You went looking for it. Clearly, the guy wanted it gone, and you knew it'd be horrible for him if it was released. Back to the issue at hand. Sketch addressed the allegations in a Sketch of the Union address, which is a nice touch, by the way, saying that it was him in the videos, and that they were made during a dark time in his life when he was struggling with multiple addictions.
That was me. It's okay, though. I will tell you what. Okay. 2 years ago, I did some stuff. I'm sorry if you've seen some of the stuff. Okay, I was dealing with some addiction problems. A couple of them.
Now, I want to make it abundantly clear that I don't think he has anything to apologize for here. Being gay or having an OnlyFans account are not things that I feel you need to be ashamed of. But he says both of those things are behind him now, which is also fine. He talks about how he's been living with this thing hanging over his head for the better part of 2 years.
But on a real note, I've been living under the threat of that coming out for like 2 years.
And that if it hadn't been for his support system, he might have done something drastic once it came out.
What's the plan after? The plan after was not very good. If I was alone and I was at my house, I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now. But the people at FaZe, Banks, especially, and my friends that I've made over the past couple years came in and they saved me.
So after hearing that, I'm really glad that he had some really good friends and support from his family, because it seems like he's back streaming again as of July 13th. Things were mostly business as usual during the stream, but every now and then I did see some out-of-pocket comments, and other commenters seemed to indicate that they were much more than that the moderators were catching and deleting so that they didn't appear in the VOD. But I think that this moment is bigger than just Sketch, and I want to talk about why. First, let's talk about why this was such a big deal. Sketch primarily streams on Twitch, where 68% of its users are between the age of 18 and 34. Polls run in 2018 by the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation show that 36% of people in this age group would be uncomfortable with a family member coming out as LGBTQ+. This was up from 24% in 2016. Wonder why that is. But more importantly, Twitch has a user base that is 80% male. Young men that fit both of these descriptions are in the group that has faced the largest erosion of acceptance, as Glad puts it. In 2016, 62% of young men aged 18 to 34 reported feeling comfortable in all 7 LGBTQ+ situations presented to them in a survey. In 2018, that number dropped to 35%. And on top of all of that, The Madden and college football games he plays are even more hyper-specifically targeted at this demographic. So while these leaks would be news for any internet personality, Sketch had, and likely still has, a lot of reason to be fearful of these things coming to light. His target audience is the one that's least likely to accept these acts. Which isn't really his fault, right? The guy clearly loves football, and these are the games that he likes to play. He never asked to be ridiculed by his fans because of choices he made that aren't hurting anyone. But this is where something interesting has happened. See, I started scripting this video to talk about how horrible it must be to have this happen when he has the fan base that he does. But you know what? Some of them surprise me. There are still plenty who either aren't taking it seriously or are just being straight up nasty and homophobic. But many are supportive of their favorite streamer in a way that I didn't see coming. Over the last week, I've had people stumble onto my video about Dr. Disrespect and go to bat for him even after he admitted himself to inappropriate contact with a minor. It's definitely frustrating to see that, trust me, I know. But it also gives me hope because I also see people going to bat for Sketch even harder for this. As for the streamer and celebrity communities, there have been some real stinkers like CTE legend Antonio Brown and famously controversial and aggressive wide receiver Tyreek Hill. But overall, things are good. I was particularly moved by FaZe Banks' account of the night that the news broke, where he urges Sketch to return to his house, and he reassures Sketch that nothing has changed between them. In a tweet the next day, he says, "Sketch was my homie yesterday, he's my homie today, and he'll be my homie tomorrow." Sauce Gardner, cornerback for the New York Jets, reiterated this sentiment by saying, "The same ones that loved him before all of this will love him after. And if they don't, then they didn't really love him to begin with." Another FaZe Clan member, Nick Bosco, said that he won't tolerate any homophobia or any disrespectful shit towards Sketch. And that ultimately is why I wanted to make this video. Because this moment is teaching people empathy. I'll quote Kenneth Shepard from Kotaku and say, "It's an unfortunate reality that homophobes can't conceptualize queer people and their struggles as real until it's someone they care about. But this is someone that a lot of people care about." We've got a couple TikToks, one saying me realizing I hate on members of the LGBTQ community for no reason, and Sketch is still the same person we all love. A shocking revelation that I'm genuinely glad people are having. And then we have videos like this one.
I was thinking about the Sketch situation last night and how I still like Sketch. I still enjoy him as a person, as a streamer, as an entertainer, as whatever you want to call him. And I found it weird that my thoughts didn't change on my opinion on Sketch, even though he did other stuff 2 years ago. So I kind of thought to myself, why would I think about any other person on this planet like that? I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen my videos of me making fun of Chris from Mr. Beast for his whole transition and this, that, and the other. And while it's not the same as Sketch situation, it's very similar and very close. But with this whole Sketch situation, I've kind of learned as an individual, I can't be so close-minded to other groups of people. You are who you are, you love who you love, and there's no changing that. So from the bottom of my heart, from all my past videos, I'm deeply sorry for putting those out on the internet. I hope Sketch is going to be alright.
And god damn it, I know the bar is so low and that acceptance is a bare minimum, but that kind of genuine change brings tears to my eyes. So I'm devastated that Sketch's past was brought up like this, when he clearly didn't want it to be. And I'm heartbroken that we still live in a world where this is something people have to worry about. But hearts and minds are being changed, and I am grateful for that. I still feel like we're in a spot where it would be difficult for Kylie Cox, aka Sketch, to come out as a gay man. But he says this is just a moment in his past, and I'm gonna take his word for that until he tells us otherwise. Even still, my prayer is that if Sketch really is still in the closet, even after all of this, that the streaming community would surprise me again and come to his defense if he were to ever come out. But anyways, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We're so close to 100 subscribers, I can almost taste it. Check out the podcast I do with my wife, Stream Glad by Jacob Trevino. I really appreciate all the love recently. It's been great. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I'll see you again real soon.
I did not have sexual relations with that man. I'm just kidding. I did. Possibly.